Hi, and welcome to another episode of the Blueprint Roundtable. I'm going to be your host today, Chrissy Manzano, and I've got Emily Bell and Matt Loers with me. And today we're going to be talking about selling methodologies, right? Does one sales methodology trump them all? And we're going from MedPick, versus Spend to Challenger to Sandler, you name it. There's a lot of them. They are, very much like this is the one. And so curious, your thoughts on this. So
Yeah,
Matt,
short
what do you
answer,
think?
no. I don't think. I think it's helpful to have certain sales methodologies outlined that you would like your team to adhere to, but I don't think finding somebody that has already gone through that training previously or has been certified in a certain model is going to yield a significant difference in results in their performance. I think really, and this is mostly like a sales training, right? My my perspective on it, having been in sales, managed sales teams, and now recruit for sales teams, if you can identify like key personas, ideal sales cycles and deal sizes, those type of things naturally are going to follow a similar progression as whatever your current team is doing, whether or not they're using Sandler where candidate A is coming from versus Challenger for candidate B, and then maybe you're running MedPick internally. Um, a lot of those, if you're interviewing and assessing for history of quota attainment and ability to navigate complex long sales cycles, and you find that out in the interview process, those individuals can adopt whatever methodology you want to do. Yeah, there's certain ways to get to a certain outcome, but it's different vessels for the same destination. I wouldn't disqualify a candidate because they don't follow or haven't been trained in a specific methodology, assuming during the interview process that all of the skills and competencies and relevancy that we're assessing for check the box.
Here, here. I
Yes.
like it. I would agree with it. I mean, some adds to that. I mean, absolutely would agree that, there can't be a singular sales methodology that like dominates the field. I think that by far oversimplifies how complex sales is. And sales, I think, can be kind of interpreted as one of those professions that are like so easy and like, things just come in and close on their own. And depending on what industry you're selling into or solution you're selling, like you can make a lot of people can make those assumptions. And my whole thing is look, if it's easy, everybody would do it. And there's a reason why not everybody's in sales. And I think that there's a lot of different factors on why you can't subscribe to just one. And what's interesting is if you read the books on different methods, like the Challenger Sell or solution selling or MedPick or Medic, and there's so many that like over lapping things that it's like anytime I've ever read any of those, like, oh, I do some of that. Like, and I do some of that. I think the true incredible sellers that are able to repeat success, no matter what they're selling, no matter who they're selling to, are the ones that are highly adaptable, that are highly engaging. They know how to build relationships and real trust quickly with people to establish rapport because trust is everything in sales. Whether you're going to buy from somebody or not, trust keeps the door open. And like it absolutely is a fact. And any type of sales methodology is great, but in action, if it doesn't feel natural to the seller, you're not going to be you. And even if it's not a malicious reason to not present yourself as who you naturally are, your buyer is going to notice that. Like we are just innately designed to notice when something is real or not in front of us. It's a survival instinct. And so, I mean, sales is like an anthropological study of the human species of like what works and what doesn't. But I think the biggest thing is the people that I've seen that have done sales for like 15 plus years is I've never been on a team of more than three people where we all hit our numbers, but we all do it differently. We all go about doing it in the way that works for us. And I can't tell you how many times I've been given advice on like, oh, I would say it this way. And it's like, look, if I say it that way, it's going to sound weird because I don't talk like that. And so I'll get to the same end result, but like, you got to trust me that I have confidence in my process. And like, it is cool to read about all the different methodologies because it's a way to kind of organize the noise and realize the patterns of what's been working and why and where you have seen success. But I'm definitely not. a subscriber of one over the other. I think borrow and choose and make your own and make it organically fit to how you communicate with people. And you will find far more success than feeling like you have to be rigid into one singular type of process. But
Yeah.
yeah, I clearly have an opinion about it.
Well, yeah, like
I know.
very
Snaps all
successful
around.
at it.
But yeah, I
So
mean, I think it's sales is an art. There's a lot of data and numbers, and it's a numbers game to a certain degree, but it's an art, and you do refine those skills over and over again over time and a career in it, and do what feels comfortable to you because you will be more successful.
yes.
And if one particular methodology doesn't feel right, then don't do it. Find
Yeah.
something else that makes more sense for you. But the big three things is like know thy product, know thy market, know thy competitor. And however you go about figuring that out, it's great. Do what makes sense for you. But if you know those three things in whatever you're doing, like you will be successful in
Yeah.
your role. That's all I
No,
got.
yeah, I think that's very well said. Look, I think all of those, I mean, Tyrell's points, like they provide structure, right? And sales is something very much that it's an art, and also you have to have structure because you're getting so much information, right? Like you always have internal departments that are like, well, sales is the ones like they're the ones that get paid the most and all these things. It's like, yeah, because they have the most risk that they have to take, and they have to understand everything from the product to the marketing landscape to the sales motion and their buyers and all that kind of stuff, right? And it doesn't mean they work harder. It's just a lot of information. And so those methodologies can help kind of condense that information to add some more structure. But to your point, like you've got to be comfortable with it, right? And even as a leader, the only thing I would add is like, I remember having a very clear view of like how I was selling, and I wanted other people to sell that way. And like, that's not, people can't be lone wolf and just not give updates. That doesn't work, and that's not okay, or have no plan. But they can have a different plan than how you attack things, right? And like, if you think it's going to fail, you have to let them. If you really think that what you're doing is better, if not, you might be surprised that they actually can pull through. So I think those are all good points, but that's all the time that we've got today. So until next time, we'll see ya. Bye.